Before we get to Ryan's forecast, some breaking news at the top of the hour. State police say 2 people were found dead inside of a home in Rumford today. News Center Maine's Bailey Cornick joins us live from the scene tonight with what we know. Hi, Bailey.
Hi, Amanda. Like you said, we're in Rumford. This house is on 60 Franklin Street, and the police presence just wrapped up a few moments ago as they've completed their work for the day, but there was probably 5 or 6 police cars here. Here's what we know now. So the Rumford Police Department responded to this house for a well-being check. That's when officers found an adult male and an adult female dead inside the home. The Rumford Police requested assistance from the Maine State Police Major Crimes Unit South. They will be transported to the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner in Augusta, where autopsies will be conducted to determine the manner and how these 2 people died. We spoke to a neighbor, though, who lives right around the corner, who says things like this just don't happen around here very often.
It's just big. I mean, it's sad news. I mean, I feel bad for the families. I mean, I've been over there for a long, long time.
The investigation remains active and ongoing, and as we learn more from Maine State Police, we will keep you updated tonight at 11 and online. Amanda, I'll toss it back to you guys.
Bailey Cornick live for us in Rumford tonight. Thank you, Bailey. We'll get to other stories in a moment. First, though, let's check in with Ryan Breton, who has a first look at our forecast. Hi there, Ryan.
Hey there, Amanda. The weather pretty pleasant in most of the state right now, but we do have some showers and downpours going through the Bangor area. Temperature down to 72 there. South of Bangor, though, it is dry. We have some patches of fog on parts of the mid-coast and down East Maine. And yes, some downpours, primarily Bangor northward, but there's one more downpour just to the west of Bangor. This is going through Carmel, Plymouth, and it's going to be headed into Herman and probably passes just north of downtown with the heaviest of the rain in the next half hour to 45 minutes or so. Back to the west, there's one more line here, and that may come through the mountains and far north tonight, but it'll tend to weaken once we lose the daytime heating. Rest of the night, fairly quiet. Some patches of fog over the mid-coast and down east with low temperatures around 60. Tomorrow, the sunniest weather will be in the first half of the day, and then clouds will begin increasing in the afternoon with high temps near 80. Much more on the rest of the week and the weekend coming up.
Maine lawmakers are calling for an investigation into the death of a young boy from Bangor. 10-year-old Braxton Smith died 2 years ago. His father pleaded guilty to murder, while his mother and grandmother both pleaded guilty to manslaughter. Now lawmakers are ordering the state's Office of Program Evaluation and Government Accountability to look into what led up to Braxton's death. They want to know if the state had any knowledge that the boy was in danger. One of the people charged in the death of a man last summer will spend 35 years in prison. Today, a judge sentenced Kenneth Creamer, who had pleaded guilty to the murder of Dylan Caruso, who was found dead in Exeter in 2024. Creamer will spend an additional 4 years on drug trafficking charges. 2 others, Dylan Boyce and Holden Melvin, were also charged with trying to help cover up that crime. A minor is in the hospital following a crash in Turner today. The Androscoggin County Sheriff's Department says the girl was driving an ATV onto Fern Road when she hit an oncoming car. Investigators say she was flown to a hospital in Portland with a leg and head injury. She is expected to survive. Officials have not released her age, but police say the other driver was not hurt. Tonight, we are hearing from law enforcement as more deaths among motorcyclists are reported on Maine roads. Our Akua Duval is live in our Bangor studio tonight with more on this. Hi, Akua.
Amanda, state data shows motorcycle deaths in Maine are nearly double what they were at this time last year. The Maine Bureau of Highway Safety reports 27 people have died in motorcycle crashes so far this year. At this time last year, that number was 14. In Hancock County, first responders have responded to 3 deadly motorcycle crashes in just over a month between July and August. And while there's no specific cause identified for this year's uptick, officials are urging both motorists and riders to wear protective gear, follow the speed limit, and stay alert to their surroundings.
And just to have 3 deaths on the highway in a month and all of them be the result of motorcycle crashes is just highly unusual. We just don't see that.
When you have a high concentration of vehicles and elevated speed limits, the crashes are certainly more significant. So just please pay attention and obey the speed limit.
Fundraising efforts are underway to help the families of all 3 Hancock County motorcycle crash victims. I also spoke with the families of some of the recent crash victims who say they're grateful for the outpouring of support they've received from people near and far. Live at the studio, Akua DeVal, News Center Maine.
Akua, thank you. The state of Maine is taking stock of new housing and new data showing us the progress we're making toward chipping away at the deficit. A state-commissioned study found Maine needs to add more than 80,000 new units by 2030. Our Chris Costa spoke with the state's senior advisor on housing policy for more insight into these new numbers that came out ahead of schedule.
The State of Maine Housing Data Portal gathers information from towns and cities with 4,000 people or more. It tells us how much housing is being built, what kinds of housing, and where.
We know we have a housing challenge, an immense housing challenge. What this does allow us to do year to year is gauge how we're doing. Are we taking a bigger and bigger bite each year to get there?
Greg Payne is the governor's senior advisor on housing policy. He says Maine set a goal of 6,900 new building permits for 2025. According to this data, Maine exceeded that goal. But each year, those benchmarks increase. 7,600 building permits in 2026 and 8,800 in 2027.
Even though we met our goal in 2025, we're going to need to do better in 2026 to continue to keep up.
The first round of data, all from 2025, shows that single-family homes were the dominant new units being permitted. Large multi-unit apartments ranked second, followed by accessory dwelling units. Payne says this data is a good foundation and just the beginning.
It is only something to be really hopeful about if we keep the pedal to the metal. Progress is helpful, but we have a huge, huge task in front of us, and we just need to not slow down.
It was Chris Costa reporting. Now, state housing leaders say this baseline data will be a helpful comparison when the full year of 2026 data comes out next spring.